you guys have any questions, but first, a little housekeeping. After this, I'm going to give away a Nomadix towel to someone in the audience, and all you have to do is write your name and email on this piece of paper and pop it in there. So has anyone not done that and they want to? This showing is extra special because in the audience are two people from Colombia, and specifically from the areas we were in.
Yeah, really.
She's from Medellin, and she is from Finlandia, where we camped with Carlos and Aldo. Do you want to know them? Do you know? No? It's a small town, so.
Yeah.
Name and email. So why I asked for your email is at the end of this tour, so we're doing a tour on the East Coast and then a tour on the West Coast, and Jesse's going to be doing some events in Colorado. At the end, we're going to give away a bigger prize, and so someone from this tour will get a bigger prize from some of our other companies that we work with. So I guess while you're doing that, we can start the Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for us?
Oh, not a question, but just a comment.
Yes.
In watching the film, I had like such an emotional response to it. I think especially being in the U.S. over the last, I don't know how many years, and just feeling such hatred and fear and all that, that was like so refreshing, and I was kind of overwhelmed.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
Being there is very similar.
Generosity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's something that I think is important to know about Colombia is it has a connotation based off history. So when you go there now, the Colombian people are like the friendliest people you will ever meet. I think a lot of people that know Colombia.
Well, I was just going to say, can you imagine having a group of people from Colombia coming to the U.S. and just showing up at somebody's house and what would happen? It's like, I mean, maybe sometimes they get a kind of response, but I would be terrified what might happen.
Sure, yeah.
It's just such a I don't know.
So what I can say is that I'm from Colombia. Now what I want to say is that Colombia has always been seen as a terrible place because of so many problems that we have. But lately we have the guerrilla and the government found a peace agreement, and people will always welcome people. They're from everywhere, especially you guys from the USA. We don't care who you are, where you come. You are always really welcome.
Yeah.
So it's like it's nice that we can see that and that you were really welcome.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
You didn't feel afraid of being there.
No, and even living in Medellin, where we lived to set up the route and stuff like that, our zone was super safe, never felt any danger.
Yeah, I remember before this agreement, people were really afraid because they were going to be kidnapped and all of these things. But now we have a feeling or a sense that are more like people can go over there if they have, they are going back. Yes, foreigners are going back over there and feeling safe and secure and not being afraid that they are going to be kidnapped or doing that.
Yeah.
Of course, there are many places like here or many other places that if you go to a place where it might be not secure or safe,
Sure.
it might happen everywhere. In general, it's good. So, what is wrong with that?
Group trip next year.
Yeah.
Let's go in the back.
Hey, how did you guys film that? Did you have somebody following you with like a truck and a crew?
Yeah.
Was there a drone involved?
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Did a really good job, by the way.
So-
It's really nice. He's a top cinematographer.
So we had one car with us, and then the filmmaker, his name is Warren Commerce. He is the guy who films Specialized Adventure Dispatch. So if you type that in, you'll see he's done a lot of films in the bike world. And so he was following in a car, and he brought a drone. And, but it was just him. It was a one-man show, so he was hustling.
Great
He
job.
was hanging out at car windows on really rugged roads.
Yeah.
You didn't know it was fun. I think it's weird.
It did, yeah, for sure. It slowed us down to redo certain scenes, but because it was like a documentary style, nothing was really like staged, and so he just filmed. This is like the best of it. There's tons of footage.
I can think of a question. I was wondering, since you were all different levels, skill levels, how did you stay so together?
That was part of the trip, I think. So we wanted to travel together, and so we all just kind of rode more or less at the same pace.
It's this type of cycling is definitely not a race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an endurance thing, and you try to motivate each other. I mean, people would go ahead, people would fall behind, and then you just wait for the next one.
And I think half of the fun in it is traveling with your good friends, right? I mean, sure, I can ride my bike whenever I want to and ride as fast as I want, but when you're out on a bike in the open with friends, that's when you connect and laugh and have mishaps, and that's the point of traveling with them, right? Otherwise, you may as well go alone. So I think we all appreciate it and acknowledge that, and took the opportunity to just be in the open and enjoy each other.
So you were riding every day, how many hours of this?
You could say the whole day.
Yeah. Very true.
Because as you know, the mountains are so steep, and so we would break frequently, and yeah, it was the whole day. We would usually wake up, get coffee, and then that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the route that you took, I mean, yes, it's what we did.
That's on the flat.
Yeah.
Every time that we do it by car, but it's like another way, so
Yeah.
that's a tricky one.
What did you do for repairs? Did you have like a lot of flats?
So I think we only had 2 flat tires, or maybe even just one.
Just one, at least.
Just one, yeah. So
Chase had that.
yeah, Chase had a flat tire.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
that
I brought a
was-
patch kit.
yeah.
We were together. We went the rookie way, and we weren't ultralight, but we had one barricade between us, which did us a little bit. But my derailleur like broke the last part by the river, and then we just had to ride it here. Fortunately, it was the last day because
Yeah.
you can repair flats, but beyond that, we need
Yeah.
a rookie and the mechanics did. So.
But it's interesting in Columbia because the cycling culture is so strong, and because even in small towns, kids are popping wheelies all over the place. There's bike shops in every small town. So if you had to, you could stop for a day and like get stuff repaired.
I had a second question. How does this have improved?
Always bring a towel over. Yeah. I think they would be because Douglas Adams would have thrown any towel in there, but this is a special towel, so I think you would. That was
Do you have other projects?
So we're hoping that this will be a series, and that once a year we'll come back to the same spots and show you guys a new route through a new region, and we'll look at not only coffee but wine, food in Vietnam, whiskey, tea, anything. The Stravas?
Yeah.
So the GPS route is on our website, and it's also, we just got on bikepacking.com yesterday. You can download the route, but I don't think any of us had a Garmin. No one had a Garmin, so we're not as pro as people that have Garmin. So all of our phones died, and we didn't track like everything exactly. But yeah, it's called, if you go to bikepacking, it's their first article.
Very important.
Yeah, it's less expensive than any vacation you can do, except for like the bikes and the equipment. But other than that, like food, accommodation, everything is
did you plan your accommodations, like you knew where you were gonna stay, or just spontaneously got?
No, so that's a common question. Basically, every day what we would do is we would go to the town square, and then there would be like people, like parking attendants. We would be trying to like park people for money. We would ask them if there's any fincas around that we could stay at. They would go off, they'd bring back like 2 or 3 people, and we'd gauge like if they were sketchy or not.
Oh, usually what happens, like, sit and have a cup of coffee, and then it was this odd stream of suitors where they're like, hey, this is where you can sleep.
And then like the least sketchy answer is like maybe I hop in the car, or maybe we can see the but
Well, it was good you had a bunch of people too.
sure safety numbers. Well, I'm gonna draw a winner for this pneumatics tower. Yeah, everyone, we're doing. Any more? Portia.
No.